The Davee engineering story starts with Everett, who taught mechanical engineering at the University of Maine. The Davees are extremely proud of the machine shop that Everett started as a mechanical engineer. Lawrence, he was an electrical engineer, and he was passionate about improving anything related. Lawrence brought the voice to the silent pictures or silent movies. And drink a toast once again. There came James Davee and Bob Davee, Robert Davee. Again, two very sharp men who were extremely, and continue to be, passionate about mechanical engineering. And Bob Davee started his own construction company.
Bob Davee founded Maine Coast Construction. Today, Bob's son John leads the company. When we started a world-class shipyard in Belfast, we decided among all of our owners immediately that John Davee and Maine Coast Construction had to be the company that built all of our facility. I had worked with John at Lyman Morse Boat Building, building several of our large buildings at that facility. When we started Front Street Shipyard, it was a natural that we knew the quality and the commitment that went with everything that Maine Coast Construction does.
James worked very hard to create pumps and pump systems. John and Mike, both Bob's sons. Mike continued to work as a mechanical engineer in many of the paper plants, and Rick and I met at the University of Maine. He was in Oak Hall and I was in Hart Hall. For 3 years, we watched each other from afar. We started with a date on a motorcycle ride. It was quite a ride, and we never looked back. John married Allison Davee, and they had two sons, John Noble Davee, who we called Jake, and Will Davee. Will is at Maine Maritime.
And John's son Jake works here in the summer, even as he earns his mechanical engineering degree at UMaine.
Being in the Davee engineer family, it's important to remember that the tool shed is the most important place, and the workbench is where they are. And there is always a project going.
The Davees now join us on our stage. Please welcome the Davee family.
Well, thank you. I'm with a few other people. I thought I had like 10 minutes. So I had this beautiful thing about UMaine engineering, all the accomplishments and so forth, and then the 1-minute version is a much different version. So you'll enjoy this better, I'm sure. So Everett Davee, you heard. Everett Davee was my great-grandfather. He was an instructor, mechanical engineering instructor at the time, for 38 years, actually. So I didn't realize. There's a plaque over the machine tool lab, which Dana has informed me they're going to save the plaque. Right, Dana? Okay. But the machine tool lab, he was there for 38 years as an instructor. Then we went through the whole 4 generations. So this is a great opportunity for the Davee family to kind of look at what has 4 generations done for Maine and the country, actually. So I went down through it. So the graduates, so he'd be proud of the fact that it wasn't just that we're getting the You Also Ran award. Okay, great, you 4 generations. What did you do with your education? What actually did you do? So I think that's the big thing. So we've had teachers, business leaders, and of course my favorite, engineers. So we've been engineers. So I actually wrote all these things down. Great opportunity. So we heard sound on movies. That was my grandfather. The equalizers. You equalize. You go look at band. They do all this to mix music. He actually patented the equalizer. UMaine, come on, good, right? He actually developed was part of the team voice over, they actually put voice over high-tension lines at one time. They didn't have telephone lines, so he actually talks to Calvin Coolidge over the high-tension lines. That was one of the things they developed. It didn't go any very far. We made no money. But bottom line, it was a really cool thing, right? Okay. So then we went to like some of the next generation. My dad, he was the original designer. All the criteria they used for centrifugal pumps, which are still in service today, centrifugal pumps, they did all the original design criteria down in Patterson, for Worthington Pump, down in Patterson, New Jersey. That was the UMaine graduate. Then we did his brother, the development of alkaline batteries. So he's part of that team. Alkaline batteries, still use them, right? First of that. Rechargeable batteries. Anybody need a rechargeable battery anymore? Rechargeable batteries. That's kind of cool, right? You need that. Then the next generation came along. We installed nuclear reactors on submarines, aircraft carriers. The Vincent, you see Vincent in the Gulf. We did that. We installed the nuclear reactors on that, part of the Navy ship program. Designed dozens, literally dozens of water treatment plants throughout the country and through New England, Maine in particular. Built hundreds of homes and businesses along the Maine coast. You heard about the construction firm. Literally hundreds of homes and businesses along the Maine coast, fisheries, canneries. That was all our group that did that. Paper mill operations. Paper mill is a little tough place right now, but operations, we did that. We're part of that. Nutrition education for literally thousands of people in the state of Maine. We're part of that program. Some of the other people, non-engineers, obviously. Testing of windmill foundations. What's going on right now? We have an engineer that's part of that whole program. And then, and my last and least, which on my list, is figuring out the 2019 tax code. So we have people working on that too. So you got to give some credit for that. You Maine people have got that. So anyways, that's my 1 minute. I thank you on behalf of the whole Davee family. We appreciate it. It's great. Thank you.